sergeants, call the members. If I could ask everyone to take their seats after the photo. I do want to welcome, to my right, I do want to welcome everyone to Los Angeles City Hall, your Los Angeles City Hall. It is Wednesday, January 13th. This council meets every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Mr. Clerk, we do have a quorum. Could you please call the roll?
Blumenfield, Bonner, Buscaino, Sodillo, Engler, Fuentes, Harris, Dawson, Weezer, Koretz, Krikorian, Martinez, O'Farrell, Price, Rue, Wesson, 11 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. First order of business.
Approval of the minutes.
Cedillo moves, Bonin seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Mr. David Rue moves and Nuri Martinez seconds. That brings us where?
Mr. President, the Office of Finance recommends that items 2D and E be received and filed in as much as 2D has been paid in full and 2E has entered into an installment agreement. Further, the Department of Building and Safety recommends that items 1A, B, D, G, H, I, Q, and S be received and filed in as much as the liens have been paid in full, and that items 1T and 1I be continued to January 27.
Okay, so without objection, that will be the order. Next.
Mr. President, items 1 through 22 are items noticed for public hearing.
Okay, do we have cards, Mr. Clerk?
Yes, sir, we do. We have cards on items 1, 2, and 11.
Okay, let's hold those items. Members, we're dealing with items 1 through 22. Any specials? I do not see any, so let's proceed with our vote. Madam Clerk, open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
That brings us where, Mr. Clerk?
Mr. President, that brings us to items 23 through 34. They're items for which public hearings have been held. Committee reports for items 23 and 32 through 34 have been submitted and circulated. Lastly, item 25 should be held for an amending motion.
Okay, Mr. O'Farrell.
Please hold 33 on the desk.
33 at the request of Mr. O'Farrell. Members? Okay, why don't we hold Mr. O'Farrell's item and the items you referenced, Mr. Clerk, and prepare to vote on the remaining items. Okay, Madam Clerk, open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
That brings us where?
Mr. President, items 35 through 46 are items for which public hearings have not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Okay, so without objection, those items are now before this body. Do we have cards?
Yes, sir, we do. We have cards on items 39, 42, 44, and 45.
Okay, let's hold those items and prepare to vote on the remaining items. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
That brings us where?
Item 47 is an item scheduled for closed session. Would you like to hold it on the desk?
Why don't we, for now, we'll hold it, and then I'll try to get some guidance from either the chair or from our own city attorney. Okay, so we're now on what item?
Mr. President, on the continuation agenda, item 48 is an item noticed for public hearing.
You have cards?
No, sir.
Okay, let's prepare to vote on that. Mr. O'Farrell.
I also ask that we hold 48 on the desk.
40, so you want to hold 48?
Please.
Okay, so that we will hold that at Mr. O'Farrell's request. So we're where?
Mr. President, that takes council back to presentations or items called special.
At this point, I'd like to defer to Council Member Rue Mr. Root, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, fellow council members, Korean American leaders, and fellow Angelenos.
Hold tight, Mr. Root. Shh.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, fellow council members, Mr. President, Korean American leaders, and fellow Angelenos. As the first Korean American to serve on the Los Angeles City Council, I am honored to wish you all a happy, and as a council member, my first Korean American Day. Thank you. On January 13, 1903, 56 men, 21 women, and 25 children began their voyage from Korea across the Pacific Ocean, arriving in Honolulu, Hawaii. From 1903 to 1905, another 7,500 hopeful Koreans traveled on the USS Gaelic to work on the Hawaiian sugar plantations to provide a better life for themselves and their family back home in Korea. The second wave of Korean immigration arrived in the 1950s after the conclusion of the Korean War. Nearly 100,000 military brides and approximately 300,000 Korean adoptees entered the United States. Then the third wave began in 1967 with hundreds and thousands of Korean immigrants under the 1965 Immigration Act. I am incredibly proud to say that my parents, along with thousands of others, were given the opportunities to provide a better life for their families, to achieve the American dream, and work towards a more prosperous future. You know, and it's been 113 years, and it's a pleasure to be here. And I just want to say one thing for the Korean American community. 우리 한인 커뮤니티 113년 미국으로 이민 왔습니다. 제가 첫 번째 한인으로 여기 시의원 된 것도 제 혼자 한 게 아니고 우리 어르신들, all those who came before me 때문에 열심히 일하셔가지고 고생하시면서 그래서 제가 여기까지 왔습니다. 우리 커뮤니티가 뭉쳐서 힘을 뭉쳐서 여기까지 와서 이런 우리 LAC에서 officially 시의원으로 이렇게 한국말로 우리 한인데이, Korean American Day 축하할 수 있는 게 너무나 기분이 좋고요. 마음이 흔들립니다. Now, there's a day of festivities as well as month-long events that we'll share with all the council members. But I'd like to introduce some of the Korean American leaders who helped organize Korean American Day, not just for today, but throughout several years, and making today very special. First, I want to recognize the Korean American Foundation of USA for their work in establishing the Korean American Day. And of course, there's also the Korean American Foundation of Los Angeles chapter, the first chapter of the Korean American Foundation. And also with us is the Korean American Federation of Los Angeles. And I'm going to ask the Korean American leaders, first led by our ambassador and consul general from Korea, Ambassador Hyun Myung Kim, to say a few words.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
안녕하십니까. Good morning. I am very pleased to be here in the City Hall with the City Council members. And particularly, I'm very happy that the first Korean American City Council member here. As he mentioned, Korean Americans are working hard, and they are contributing to the betterment of the United States of America. And the Korean American people are, when it comes to relations between Korea and U.S., they are linchpin. And I can say here that relation between Korea and U.S. is very strong and solid. And we have to work hard to that Korean Americans' voices are being heard and represented. And I think this is Mr. David Liu's entering this council is just the beginning, and we will work hard to make United States a more prosperous and better country, the great country. And then I hope that Korean Americans will continue to work hard to make our relation between Korea and U.S. strong. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And next, I'd like to introduce the leader of the Korean American Federation and the Korean American community in Los Angeles, Mr. James On.
Good morning, Mr. President Herb Wesson and honorable council members, and thank you for joining us in the celebration of Korean American Day. On this day, I'm proud to join all Korean Americans throughout the United States, and in particular, those here in the city of Los Angeles. As we celebrate this important occasion, it is with great pleasure that I extend my best wishes to the entire Korean American community as we take a moment to reflect on our proud heritage. Our community has grown to incredible new heights, and we continue to make positive and lasting contribution to this great city and to this great country. Also, this is the first time we celebrate Korean American Day with our first Korean American Councilman, David Liu, and for that we are very proud. I want to thank you, President Wesson, for your great leadership, and to this entire council for your service and friendship with the Korean American community. Together, we will do great things for the city of Los Angeles. Thank you again, and happy Korean American Day. Thank you.
Then I'd like to introduce the president of the Korean American Foundation of the USA. Is it Mr. Tong Si Chong?
Yeah, it's L.A., Los Angeles.
Oh, of Los Angeles. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The honorary president, Mr. Sang-Won Park. Yes. Apologize.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Happy Korean American Day. Especially thank you for Los Angeles Council Chairman, Mr. Herb Wesson. You made the Korean American Day in the California House of Assembly. So now all of the Los Angeles Council members support to the Korean American community. Also, Korea and USA bond together, and they build up the better world and the peace and safe and security of the worldwide. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you.
And to close, we're going to have the president of the Korean American Foundation Los Angeles chapter, Mr. Tong Si Chong.
Thank you. This morning, then, I cannot speak English very well. That's why I make this mic, and then let me take her Catherine song. Okay, Catherine song.
It is my honor to be here today to celebrate Korean American Day, and thank you, Mayor Garcetti and the City Council members for recognizing January 13th as Korean American Day. If it wasn't for the selfless sacrifice of Korean veterans and U.S. support, we wouldn't be here today. Thank you, and Happy New Year. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you.
And before I make a presentation, I just want to say Korean American Day is not just a celebration for the Korean American community, but a celebration for us all, because we're all a nation of immigrants. And you make America. I make America. I am Los Angeles. We are Los Angeles. And together, all of us make the mosaic and the fabric that makes us stronger and what makes America. So it's a pleasure to be here on Korean American Day, share with my colleagues. And I thank everybody. And with that said, On behalf of the City Council, I'd like to present this Korean American Day resolution to the leaders of the Korean American community. Thank you.
Mr. Ryu, before you leave, there are a couple of members that would want to say a few words. So I won't disturb the photo op. But I just want to say, and then I'm going to call on Mr. Weezer, that it is always a pleasure for me to see so many dear friends, President Ahn and Mr. Park, that I've known for many, many years, and that it has been every day that I have been in elective office, I have represented at least a piece or a section of Koreatown, and it has always been an honor. The relationship that we have with the Korean people has been phenomenal. I tell everybody without pause that the Koreatown area, the mid-city area, when no one else in this city, no one else felt that they wanted to invest in that area, it was the Korean American community, the Korean community that invested, and now it is one of the most prosperous areas within the city of Los Angeles. It has been an honor to work with you, and the relationship between the Americans and the Koreans, that's a relationship of blood and guts going all the way back to the war. We have always worked together. We have always been partners. I look forward to this day, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of the contributions. I will just say, 대단히 감사합니다. Mr. Weezer.
Mr. President, and happy Korean American Day. And it was great to see, Mr. Ryu, as you spoke, how the rest of the community here was beaming with pride that one of their own was speaking from that podium as a council member for the second largest city in this country. But it speaks volumes about what the city of Los Angeles is, as you mentioned, because this is the city of dreams. It's a place where people come from around the world to fulfill their dreams and provide a better family for themselves and for their families. And we often forget how great and how much diversity we have in this city. But congratulations not only on this Korean American Day, but congratulations to you, Mr. Ryu. You're a great ambassador for your community, and congratulations for breaking another glass ceiling in this country that's given so much opportunity for people throughout the world. Congratulations to you all.
Mr. O'Farrell.
I also want to rise and just give our colleague David Ryu a big congratulations as well for being the first Korean American on the Los Angeles City Council. I know that this day in particular has special meaning, being a Korean New Year, and so I want to salute all of you, the delegation. And you are indeed 100% accurate. It is the diversity that makes up the mosaic that makes Los Angeles the most special place in the world. And today's presentation is indicative of that value, and I just can't say enough of how proud I am to be an Angelino on days like this. So congratulations and Happy New Year. Yes.
Mr. Ryu, the floor is returned to you.
No, thank you. And yes, Lunar New Year is coming up, which all Asian cultures celebrate. And this is the year of the monkey. And in Korean, we say 새해 복 많이 받으세요, which is Happy New Year. Thank you. And there will be a special dinner at the Oxford Palace Hotel, which they wanted me to invite all the council members. And it's at 6 o'clock at the Oxford Palace Hotel in Koreatown. Extend all invitations to all members. And if anyone would like to take some pictures of the Korean community, please come on out to the press room. Thank you.
Thank you all. Let's give them one more round of applause. Thank you for all you do, Mr. Park, Mr. President Ahn. It's my understanding that we have some ordinances. Why don't we vote on reconsideration, because we now have more than 12 members. So let's which items will we be voting for reconsideration?
Those would be items 3 through 10 and 12 through 17, sir.
Okay, so the first vote is on reconsideration. Let us open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
Now we will actually vote on the items. Let us open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
Okay, we'll run through some items quickly. We'll start off with item 11. Mr. Previn.